day for the entire country, as today the much awaited Rafale fighter jets will arrive in India from France. They're expected to arrive in the country at around 2 p.m. flown by 7 pilots headed by Group Captain Harkirat Singh. Well, former Air Chief B.S. Dhanova also had something to say over the arrival of these fighter jet. In fact, he has termed it as a game changer. So talking about the features of the fighter jets, first and foremost, of course, comes the speed. Then it's the attack ability. Do remember that it's a 4.5 generation aircraft, although many advanced nations do have 5th generation aircraft as well. Why is it that India at this point of time procured 4.5 generation aircraft and not 5th generation aircraft? We're going to discuss that, but a little later in my live. Do remember that the Rafale fighter jets are huge, accurate and precise. Rafale is a medium multi-role combat aircraft. The Rafale jet is known for its speeding, weapon holding capacity and attacking capability. The specification, if we have to speak about now: holographic cockpit, display, twin engines, radars and sensors, and of course weight and whatnot. These were just a few, of course, features as well as specification. I have with me Air Marshal B.K. Murli, who will be joining us live on the Facebook page of News9 to give us some more insight as to what exactly are the specifications and as well as the features of Rafale. These 5 Rafale jets, 4.5 generation Rafale jets, which will be arriving in India from France just in a very short while from now. The entire country waits with a bated breath. Let's go across to Air Marshal, who joins me live. Very good afternoon to you, sir, first of all, and thank you very much for joining me live in this Facebook interaction on the page of News9. Sir, today India welcomes 5 Rafale jets. Do tell us, of course, a few specifications and the features I've already pointed out, but do elaborate on it. What are the specifications and features of the fighter jets?
Oh, good afternoon, Neha. It's great to be back with News9 again, and this time on a topic that is very close to my heart. That's arrival of the Rafale. Rafale is an omni-role fighter. It can do a wide variety of tasks at the same time. When it's airborne, whether it's an air defense task or air superiority, air dominance fighter, interdiction, then a deep strike, or electronic warfare escort, and so on and so forth. In fact, it is an absolutely agile aircraft with the 2 very powerful engines known as the M88 engines, each with about 7.5 tons of thrust. So that gives this aircraft about 15 tons of thrust, a very, very high thrust to weight ratio on this class of aircraft, and very advanced avionics and some India-specific modifications make this Rafale a formidable fighter, in air, and really a prized possession of the Indian Air Force.
All right. So, Air Marshal, I'd like to ask you, I did mention it in the beginning of my Facebook Live that it's a 4.5 generation aircraft. So, at this point of time, why is it, of course, fighter jets? So, why is it that, India at this point of time decided to get 4.5 generation but not the 5th generation? Well, this is in consideration to the fact that there are many advanced nations like US, France, which already have the 5th generation. So why not opt for 5th generation instead of 4.5 generation? If you would be able to tell us that.
Yeah, Neha, it's a very long story. You are well aware that since 1999, Indian Air Force wanted a MMRCA. And in 2003, the actual paperwork started in 2009. We came very close to buying this aircraft in the previous with the previous government, but did not work out. It was only in 2016 this whole thing materialized, and then actually 5 aircraft were in contention. One was actually a 5th generation fighter, that is a Typhoon. In fact, I evaluated all the aeroplanes here itself at Bangalore, and Typhoon was our #1 priority. In fact, we all preferred Typhoon because of its versatile features and 5th generation avionics. But then the Rafale was not bad enough. It was a very close successor. and the government took a decision because of various rules and regulations known as a L1. There is a lowest bidding, and Rafale got selected. But let me hasten to add, Neha, Rafale is second to none. It's a battle-hardened aircraft. It has been used extensively in the Afghan and the Syrian war by French Air Force. Most of the weapons that we have procured along with the Rafale have already been battle tested. So, in addition to that, some of the modifications that we are now getting on the Rafale as what is known as the India-specific modifications really bring up this aircraft to the 5th generation. Actually, there is not much of a difference between 4.5 and 5, and Rafale, in my opinion, is truly a game changer.
All right, sir, former Air Chief B.S. Dhanova terms it as a game changer. So you're also saying that it is a game changer, but is it really? And if it is, then why is it so? And how important are these jets really for the future of India?
In the warfare, the current generation warfare does not really talk about the face-to-face combat with the enemy aircraft in air. It's mostly through the beyond visual range weaponry. And then today we are, getting some really exclusive weapons along with the, Rafale aircraft like Scalp and Meteor. And now there is also a talk that Hammer is very good. Hammer kits are very soon going to join the Indian Air Force on the Rafale. There is also a project to integrate the BrahMos missile, that is a cruise missile, with the Rafale, and it can in any case carry all conventional precision guided munitions or the PGMs like Payaway laser guided bombs. So with all this weaponry and with a total load carrying capacity of 9.5 tons and with a radius of action of 3,700 meters, 3,700 kilometers and a climb height, actually the operational range of 60,000 feet. Believe me when I tell you, Rafale is truly a game changer, and it can take on the adversary in any particular front of the war, and it can do a wide variety of missions.
Well, let's quickly compare it with J20 of China in that case.
Neha, in fact, we're all aware that J20, the Chengdu J20 was inducted during Jan 2020, and the Chinese tout it as some kind of a stealth
they've been
aircraft.
boasting about it. So where do we stand in comparison to J20?
Actually from the information that we have on Chengdu J20, it is not a 5th generation fighter. Secondly, it is using the same aero engine as the Sukhoi 30 MKI, which we have. There is a AL-31FP. And that doesn't make it a 5th generation fighter at all. And as far as the stealth features of this aircraft are concerned, it is suspect. And there is enough literature to tell us that there is a possibility that this entire stealth technology was stolen by the Chinese scientists from Lockheed Martin. So first, this entire J20 has been given a lot of hype by the Chinese only because we are getting Rafale. And most importantly, this is something that we should keep in mind. It is not battle tested. They have never used it. They have inducted about 1 squadron of J20s in Jan this year, and they have transferred all the aircraft to the Tibet Autonomous Region under Western Theater Command. So no battle experience. Then the technology is suspect, the old engine, and the stealth itself is just a hype.
Sir, so, of course, arrival of the Rafales gains importance largely because of the standoff with China that we're getting to witness at Galwan Valley in Ladakh. So are we seeing tensions escalating on that front? Or is the arrival of Rafale really nothing got to do with that?
No, Neha. In fact, I think when you look at it, dispassionately, you realize that coming Rafale arrival has nothing to do with the tensions escalating at the north of Pangong Lake or the Galwan Valley as such. In fact, the delivery of the Rafales have been slightly, hastened and it has become a fast-track delivery because of, the problems as such. But then, Neha, there is something very important which I must say. The aeroplanes which are landing today at about 2 o'clock at Ambala are not coming with some of the modifications for which we have paid money to France. In fact, they are not coming with the laser tracker. They are not coming with the ESA, that is a active scanned, area radar. They are not actually coming with some of the features that we wanted as India-specific modifications. Now, this is because we wanted the aircraft to land in Ambala so that our pilots could get
So talking
some
about
kind
the
of...
landing, how soon can they be operational once they land in Ambala?
That is actually, it's anybody's guess. In a normal course of action, it takes anywhere from 8 to 9 months for the pilots to get fully trained. Day operational, night operational, weapon operational, and fully operational.
So thank you so very much for joining me on the Facebook page of News9. I hope you enjoyed this interaction. If at all, do not forget to subscribe News9 YouTube. Like us on News9 Instagram, Facebook as well as Twitter. Thank you very much for watching, and do remember, COVID-19 threat has not subsided. Take care of yourself. Be safe.